All right. Again, good afternoon and welcome to today's GHS Parent Portal Bootcamp workshop. For today's meeting, our facilitators are going to be myself, Dr. Deidre Elam, and I'm the GHS Parent Liaison, and Mr. Dominic Stokes, the Executive Director of the Community Teen Coalition Upward Bound program, who also we share students from our school with Upward Bound. And so Mr. Stokes is going to assist us today and provide some great information and resources to you, our families, about things that you can do to help your students as well to be successful. Today's meeting is simply about the Infinite Campus Parent Portal. During our fall 2020-2021 parent survey, we received an overwhelming request for information about our Infinite Campus Parent Portal. And so we want to make sure that we are sharing this information with you so that you're able to use this information to be helpful to your students at home, abreast of what's going on with your student, and making sure that everything that they're doing it to the best of their ability with your support. So the information that I wanted to share with you about our parent portal is that you're able to access the parent portal in multiple ways. As we like to say, there's multiple ways to skin a cat. And so it's important that you're aware of how to access the parent portal. So if you're on the Griffin High School website, and you all should know that our website is www.griffinhighschool.org. If you go to the school's website, you will see two ways to access our parent portal, and the red arrows indicate how to access the parent portal. So you can access it from the Parents tab. And so once you're on the Parents tab, then you're able to click on Infinite Campus Parent Portal from there, as well as on the main page by the long red arrow where it just says Infinite Campus Parent Portal, you're actually able to access Parent Portal from this particular area as well. So no matter where you click, you're going to get to this particular page once you click on the Infinite Campus Parent Portal. This is what the next page will look like when you're clicking on it. And so what you would actually do, because you are a parent, you would actually just click on Campus Parent. Once you click on Campus Parent, if you have not set up a Parent Portal account, then you would need to click on the link. If you have already set it up, then you would enter your username and password. And so I'm not actually able to click on it because I don't have any children in the school. But for those of you who know, who has used the Parent Portal, then you'll know, and you'll be able to see, you'll know what's next once you're inside the portal. Also, if you're paying close attention at the very bottom of the page, you're able to change the language for this particular page as well. And so I wanted to make sure that I highlighted that. Also, if you've set up your account, but you forgot your password, then there's a way for you to click on Forgot Password, or you forgot your username, or if you need any additional help, there's a way for you to get the help that you need by clicking on either Forgot Password, clicking on Forgot Username, or clicking on Help. All right, so say for instance, you are setting up your parent portal for the first time. Then what you will need to do is, on this particular page, will be the next page, is enter the student's student ID number. You would have to enter your student's the last four digits of your student's social security number, and then the student's birth date. If you do not have the student's student ID number, then you can let us know and we can provide that to you. And it's just a 6-digit number. But most of the students who are here in our school, they should know their student number because they use this information when they're getting their lunch. All right. Once you're inside of, once you do this part, it's going to provide you with a key. And so that's a long number. It has both numbers and letters in it. And so you have to remember that so that you're able to put it into the next screen, and it will populate and allow you to set up your username and password. And that is something that you would need to keep record of so that each time, and I know that right now with the devices that we have, it will save your usernames and passwords. So once you enter that key, if I were you, I would like open up a Word document and just kind of save it there. And then you can always go back and put in the information, but you don't want to click the page off without making sure that you're writing down or notating that activation key that you will need, which is a part of your setup. Are there any questions thus far? By utilizing the parent portal, you're able to see a lot of things. You're able to see a calendar, which will give you alerts about due dates for assignments. You're able to see your students' attendance. You're able to see your students' transcripts, which is unofficial. You're able to see a multitude of different things. Even from Parent Portal, you don't even have to know the teacher's user, his or her email address, because you're able to email them from Parent Portal. So there are multiple things that you can do to stay on top of your students' academic success and progress by having access and utilizing Parent Portal. Not only can you use the computer version, but you also can download the app. And in that app, you will receive notifications in the same manner that you will receive a text message notification by having Parent Portal. So if there's an attendance that's put in, then that attendance will alert you if your child is being marked absent. If there are assignments that are put in, then you will know that as well. And these things are done in real time. And this is why we're always encouraging our families to engage with us by utilizing Parent Portal. This is a part of our school parent compact when we're talking about the manner in which we will communicate. Teachers are also using Parent Portal and able to send class messages to families. So you'll get an email from the Parent Portal. So make sure that you're utilizing. If there's anything that you're not understanding or not sure about, please do not hesitate to call on myself or call on our media specialist who's able to help you. Her name is Mrs. Mattia Edwards. But please utilize the Parent Portal. It is a very great, good tool for you. It provides a great resource for families just to keep you on top of everything. And there is, no questions about it. So if something is missing, it's going to show in that Parent Portal. At this time, are there any questions before we move on to Mr. Stokes, who's going to do a presentation next? Okay. Mr. Stokes is the Community Teen Coalition Upward Bound Executive Director, and he's going to share some information with you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and allow him to present his screen. So let's give our attention to Mr. Stokes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Elam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And I'll pull up that screen in a few minutes. But first, definitely want to say good afternoon. I am Dominic Stokes, the director of the Community Teen Coalition Upper Bound program at Griffin High School. And I definitely want to applaud the parents that's on the call. I know Miss Sweet, Miss Gaston. If there's anyone else that I miss, I do apologize. But definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to get on this quick call. Dr. Elam gave some very important information for the success for your son or daughter. I will tell you through our program, if you don't know, Upper Bound has been around since the 60s. We started our program at Griffin High School in 2017, where we have an upper bound, one upper bound and one math and science program. So if you have any students that are interested in math or science, this is a great program for them. Or any students that are just looking to go to college, this is a great program for them. I do have a quick video that I'm going to show, but before I show that video, I just want to kind of set the context of set it up before we watch the video. And it will show why the parent portal is so important, why parental engagement is so important, and why collaboration with the schools, the teachers, and community partners are so important for the success of your son and daughter. Currently, our program is slated to serve 120 students at Griffin. So if your son or daughter is in the 9th, the 10th, or 11th grade, you should be reaching out to the counselors. How can my son or daughter get into Upper Bound program? And real quick, we're currently looking for students that want to go to college. This program is geared towards first-generation college students. So they'll be the first in their immediate family. Myself, I'm a first-generation college student. My mom or dad had a college degree. Or we can meet some income requirements to allow your son and daughter into the program. And also during this time, we follow them from the beginning until they graduate. So we provide a lot of testing, ACT, SAT, test preparations. We travel, culture enrichment. Last year, right before the pandemic, we went to California, DC. We took students to New York. Also, we're going to Puerto Rico. All of this is free, no cost to the parent or the student. And one cool thing about it, your son or your daughter actually gets paid for their participation. We just gave out stipends last week. We gave out $250 for students that have been participating through our, the last several months. And they received $250 just for a stipend, just for their participation. So just a couple things. If you're interested, your son or daughter may be interested, definitely let them know we're currently recruiting only 45 students, and we'd love to have them in the program. So I'm gonna go to this video. The video that you're gonna see or able to listen to, it's a story in Baltimore where a young man, he was in his senior year, and the mom found out. She thought he was about to graduate, but had no idea that he did not have enough credits to graduate. And so unfortunately, he's not able to graduate with his class. So I want you to watch the video, and then we'll come back. I'll answer some questions and just talk a little bit about it, and we'll be done. So let me present now. Entire screen, share.
And while you're doing that, Mr. Stokes, don't forget to mute your microphone so that there's no background.
Okay. So let's see. So I hit present now, tab, right? And then
yes,
we can.
And then you present it. All right.
And then I need to go to my screen. Let me mute that.
Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, you know, to go to the next grade. And, you know, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years, only 1 teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes, but his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
In your opinion?
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. I just want to give it a second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. I wanted to stop it there because I just wanted to show a couple of things of this situation with this parent, and I definitely understand her frustration, the pain, the hurt, thinking that her son was going to graduate, and unfortunately, he's not able to graduate. But it brings me back to the parent portal of how important that portal would have been in her situation if she had that or was able to utilize a parent portal to check her son's grades, to check his attendance, to check his transcripts. She probably wouldn't be in the position where she is today. And then total collaboration with with the teachers. So I do want to ask the parents that on the call, Ms. Gaston, Ms. Sweet, I do have some little giveaways that I have for you guys, but I do want to ask you, do you guys currently utilize the parent portal?
I use it all the time.
Great. And so,
yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's the easiest way and the quickest way to keep up with what's going on.
Absolutely.
So
And we have Ms. Washington on the call as well. She's the Google user. So Ms. Washington, welcome.
How you doing, Ms.
Yes. Hi, I'm doing well. I also use it for both of my boys, 9th grade and one is in 3rd grade. So any attendance that pops up, I'm always asking, hey, what's going on here? Grades, everything. So yes.
So Ms. Washington, your son, you said 9th grade?
Yes, Trevor Washington.
Okay. And then Ms. Gaston, son or daughter?
Son, he's a senior, 12th grade.
12th.
Woo-hoo!
Nice, congratulations. And Ms. Sweet, what about you?
Oh, Nevi is in the program, and then Dave is graduating this
Oh,
year.
Wisconsin Nevi, yeah. Hey, how you doing?
You can realize the name.
Yeah, no, I didn't, but I'm glad that you're on. So you guys are using the parent portal, and one thing I want to say is definitely congratulate you. I'm gonna make sure I have some giveaways out. I'll drop off to Miss Elam for you guys. I have a gift card for all 3 of you, just because you're showing your support and involved in your son or daughter's education. But one thing I will encourage, if you can, as we continue to build momentum, definitely at Griffin High School and with our students, because what we've seen lately over the last year or two is a lot of our students, even academically, the ones that are having really good GPAs, it's the testing part where they need some assistance, ACT, SAT, and we provide those test preparations for those students. And then also just exposure, letting them know the colleges that are out there that they can, at least apply for. Right now, we're looking at, as far as our college readiness and post-secondary education, we're right around 72%. Our goal is to at least be around 80% of the students in our program are at least going to post-secondary education. And that's even technical school, community college, or four-year university. So if your son or daughter is not in the program in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, they have any friends or anyone that is interested, please let us know. We're here to be a support, just like Dr. Elam and the staff at Griffin High School is to be a support. And last thing I do want to say to the parents is this: during this pandemic time, we've seen a shift in a lot of our students. Are your son or daughter, are they doing virtual? Who's doing in person? Anyone doing in person?
I am. My son is in person.
Okay. What about Miss Gaston?
We are virtual.
Okay. How's that going for you?
It has worked out well.
Okay.
He does interact with his friends or team members as far as sports, but we are virtual as far as academics.
Okay. And academics are being able to maintain those academics?
He has been able to maintain. He is struggling with one class, but he has assured me that he is on his way to moving that in the right direction. But we have not found any significant challenges with being virtual.
I know one thing that we've noticed with our students, as far as any of them that are maybe failing a class, is just not turning in work assignments. So that's one of the things I will encourage as parents, is making sure that one is communicating to their teachers, especially if they're doing virtual. We have the parent portal, but also just making sure that they're turning these assignments in. Because as we talk to the teachers at the school, they're providing tutoring to the students if they need help. They have classes, in the morning or after school if the students need assistance. And then they're allowing them to make up work if needed. So we want to make sure that they maintain those GPAs, especially if they're looking to pursue post-secondary education.
Yes, I agree. Communication is key, whether virtual or in person. That is key. Parent and teachers, that is key.
Absolutely. Well, I didn't want to talk too much about the video. I know you guys, because you guys are using the portal, but as you saw in the video, my heart went out to that mom. I understand working multiple jobs, she has kids, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're doing the very best to set our students up for success. And something as simple as utilizing a portal or communicating with the teachers at the school could have helped minimize the chances for that kid. And unfortunately, he has to probably drop out and get his GED. But you guys are working, taking advantage of the program, the portal. And like I said, Upper Bound is here, and we just want to continue to be a partner, in the success of your students. Any questions for me? Anyone?
Yes, I wanted to ask, my son is interested in the Upward Bound program.
Yes.
We are in the process of completing his application and getting referrals from counselor and teacher. So I wanted to know, is there a due date for us to turn it in?
So let me help you with that. So don't worry I don't want you to hold the application because you don't have the teacher or counselor recommendation. We'll get that, okay? Our staff was at the school today. Pretty much 3 days out the week, we're going to be in the cafeteria collecting applications. So the process is, once we get an application, our staff would notify the parent and the student. We'll do, most likely it'll be a virtual interview with the parent. If the student is in person, we'll meet with them in person and do a one-on-one, make sure it's a good fit on both ends. And then from there, we'll select the students. We are looking for students at least a 2.5 and above GPA. And just committed to participate in the program. We're a very active program. If you go to our social media, Instagram at Community Teen Coalition, that's TEEN, you'll see a lot of activities we've done over the years. And so they get a lot of exposure. And one of the things that we stress is, and just like the schools, is just we're partners to the parents. So if he's in 9th grade, by the time he graduates, the exposure level of traveling, culture enrichment, and then colleges that he'll be able to visit, it definitely will spark some type of interest career-wise and educational. So yeah, just turn it in to the counselor, Miss, who is this counselor? Is it Miss Stewart?
Stewart? Yes, Miss Stewart.
Yeah.
We've already spoken with her. She's put her recommendation already in the box.
Yeah, so just turn it in. Yep, just turn it in. As long as you do your part, and then anything else we're missing, at least so we can do the interview, because we're only going to select for this particular first group only 45 students. Okay.
Okay.
And if you have a friend, tell some of his friends that are pretty solid academically to apply also.
Perfect. Will do. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem at all. Any other questions? Okay. And
Thank you, Mr. Stokes.
yes, and Ms. Elam, I'll drop those gift cards off to you definitely if I'm not there this week, definitely by Monday or Tuesday. And parents, you can schedule a time where you can pick up those gift cards from Dr. Elam. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to continue now sharing my screen, but as I'm sharing my screen, I want to continue the conversation and just kind of falling back on our school parent compact. We always talk about our compact in our meetings, and so I just kind of want to make sure that I highlight some things. A part of our compact is the communication and student learning. And so we talk about the ways that we're going to reach out to our families. And most definitely, we talk about open house. We talk about our student showcase, the parent-teacher conferences, the progress reports and report cards. We also talk about updates on our school website. And then we also talk about those manners in which you're going to be able to volunteer with us. But at the very end, we go back and we highlight and we talk about being able to make sure that you have access to that Infinite Campus parent portal. And so this is a very important meeting because it keeps with making sure that we are doing our part to keep you informed and keep you abreast as to how we're going to communicate. And our communication is outlined in our school parent compact that we're going to be utilizing both our teachers, our school officials, and parents will be utilizing that Infinite Campus parent portal. So again, this is a very important tool that has been put in place so that we are in constant communication with our families. At this time, Mrs. Sweet, our parent representative, she's going to just basically introduce to you our rigorous curriculum dialogue parent guides, and then I'm going to explain them, but she's going to just tell you where you can go to see them, and then I'll give you more information about them. And so, give me 1 second. All right. You can go to the Griffin-Spalding County Schools website, and this particular website is what you'll need. I basically just copied it and put it here so that you're able to see it. And so once you click on it, it will populate here. And I'm going to click over and share this particular tab instead. And Ms. Sweet, if you would go ahead and just basically explain to them what they will basically see.
For me, I have a 10th grader and a 12th grader, so I go to the high school link, and I actually went on it yesterday and this morning. My son is in the Georgia College Readiness class, so I went to that, and you can actually click on the actual unit that the kid is in that classroom, and it was able to give me examples of the actual work that they're doing. So I utilize it especially for my son. That way it'll give me resource that I can help him with, because like I said, it do offer you examples. And like I said, they're on unit 4, and I just went on there this morning just to make sure that I can look at the example so that I'm able to help him. And I do it for my daughter as well, which she stays on her stuff more. So, but that's what I use it for.
Thank you. And I'm just going to explain a little bit more in more detail about it. On the RCD parent guides, you're able to actually look at the standards that's being covered in that particular class. at the time based upon the units. It's going to tell you what your students can expect to know. So it will give you some learning targets. It also gives the parents some strategies to help the students at home. And as Ms. Sweet said, it also gives you some examples. Also, it gives you some vocabulary words or words to know, and then the strategies and different examples. And so if you click on this little icon, this is a pop out. And so it pops out. And this is basically what it's going to look like when it pops out. It just makes it larger for you. It shows you, the different strategies and examples. And this is something that could be printed as well if you wanted to just have in your arsenal of tools for your students. So when you're working with them at home, we want you to fully be aware of what your students are doing. And I know sometimes when you're trying to work with the kids at home, some of the things that they're covering, because we've all been out of school for a long period of time, it feels like, oh my gosh, I got to go and try to do this new math. Yes, it's different, but that's why the district has utilize the expertise of different teachers in different subject areas and content areas to develop these RCD parent guides to help parents have some tools and resources to help their students. Okay. Are there any questions about the RCD parent guides? And so anytime you want to find these guides, you simply just go to the Griffin Spalding County School website. And what I do when I'm there, I'm going to show you how I found them. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type it in. And I'll share my screen. So when I'm here on the district's website, I click on the little hourglass or the little magnifier for the search button, and I just start typing in the rigorous curriculum design parent guides, and then I click on the search button. I scroll down, and it's the third tab, and so when I click here, it simply just takes me to that website. And depending, you can do it for elementary students, middle school, and high school. I just wanted to point out one thing when you're looking at our guides for the parents, that at this time, social study guides are not available, but they are being developed. So right now, again, social studies guides are not available. Also, the elective classes. So basically all they're providing these guides for right now are the core content level classes, like the 9th grade lit, 10th grade lit, American lit, and British lit. And then the different math courses, science courses, and again, social studies will be they're forthcoming. And please keep in mind that because of the pandemic, there have been delays in many things. And I believe that this is kind of one of the reasons why our social studies has possibly been delayed, because we're trying to develop these, but also trying to make sure that we keep up with those requirements and making sure that we're socially distanced when we're trying to meet and come together to do develop different strategies and resources for our families. Again, are there any questions? All right, at this time, if you have questions, this is a good place for you to ask them. If not, please use your sign-in sheet to complete your feedback. Please make sure that you complete your feedback. Please make sure that everybody has signed in. I'm going to put the sign-in sheet in the chat one more time. Mr. Stokes, if you would, please make sure that you're completing the sign-in sheet again as well.
Yeah, I can get it.
Okay. And then you can, everybody make sure that you submit it, and then I'll be able to see if I received it from you. Okay, I got you, Mr. Stokes. I'm just waiting on Miss Sweet, Miss Washington, and Miss Gaston. Again, I really appreciate you all being here with us today. We talked about some very good points, Mr. Stokes. You really, hit the ball out of the park talking about that particular family. I know I serve in two capacities as both the graduation coach and the parent liaison, and to make sure that my parents are fully aware of everything. We have our student meetings early on during first semester. This particular year, because of the pandemic, Ms. Savage took a portion of our students and I took a portion of those students. And I did my best to try to have group meetings with the students and just going over their transcripts, going over everything that's necessary so that they will be fully aware of what's on their transcript, what courses they need to make sure that they're taking, all the graduation requirements. Not only did we do that for our seniors, but we know that they're doing that in the lower grade levels as well. I know Ms. Stewart is basically explaining to ninth graders what a credit is, because oftentimes when students transition from middle school to high school, they don't even know what credits are and what credits mean. And so she's doing her part to make sure that she's educating our ninth grade students about that. And then Dr. Shropshire this year is working with our 10th graders. And so he's having different meetings with those students. And Ms. Wright, she's doing an awesome job working with our juniors and making sure that they're fully aware of, where they stand as far as their grades are concerned, their credits are concerned. And then she's collaborating with myself, Dr. Shropshire is as well as Ms. Stewart. But we're all collaborating to make sure that we're keeping our kids informed during this time period. Is very difficult because we do have, some students who are at home and then those students who are in the building. So just making sure that everybody is fully aware of where they stand when it comes to, their schoolwork, grades, and everything else. So if there are no questions, please make sure that you submitted your feedback form, and basically that's going to end our meeting for today. I'm going to stop the recording.